What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for tuning in. I am Reginald DeWayne. I am a black, gay, Christian man battling depression and the world. Boom. There you have it. My show, Talk That Talk with Reginald DeWayne, is really based on, it's really my therapy session, to be honest. It's my own therapy session, and hopefully it'll help somebody or inspire somebody in the world. I don't really know, I have no idea. How people will feel about this, but my show, I will have others come on at one point in time to talk, so you can get to know them and they can tell their stories. So this is a therapy session for me, and hopefully it'll be one for you. And if you have a situation, anything you want to let out and you want to come talk that talk, you can always come here and do that with me. Always available for that. So due to this being the first show, I wanted to give some insight on myself and let you guys know who I am and my story, because I feel like that's only fair if I'm about to have people sit down with me in the future to tell their stories. I feel like y'all should know mine, right? Right. So, I'm pretty much a statistic, black kid, black guy, honestly. I was raised by a single mother due to my father being imprisoned my whole life. Well, on and off, not my whole life. But pretty much, I think I turned out okay for the most part. But I'll let you decide that soon. So first I want to start with that. My mother was the best. She is the best. She raised me solo dolo. My dad was in and out of prison. He came home 6th grade. When I was in 6th grade, moved with him, but he was there but not there, you know what I mean? Kind of like the same, like he wasn't there when he was there, pretty much. But my mom did everything she could, and she did an amazing job. Just trying not to cuss. She did an amazing job, and I'm grateful for her, and I thank God for her every day. But with that, as some people wonder, and I used to ask myself this all the time, due to my father not being around, or due to my dad not being around, is that part of the reason? Do I think that plays a part in me being a gay man? And my answer is yes and no. I would say yes due to the fact that due to him not being around, I didn't have that father figure around. I had no father figures around, to be honest, not consistent father figures around. I had my grandpa on my dad's side, and I had my uncle, but I was raised with my mom, and my mom has bukus of sisters. And most of the people in our family are women, so I was raised around women mostly. So do I feel like if my dad was around, would that have played a part? Yes, I do. I feel like if he would have been around on that level, I feel like I would have had more masculinity. I would have knew more about being a man. I had to learn from being a man by my mother and just people I've seen. And so due to that, I was mainly around women, so the feminine, it was just my natural habitat when I was younger. I feel like I'm less feminine now, but back then it was just a lot, because that's all I knew. I was always raised around the girl cousins and things like that, so that's all I knew. I say no, that my dad not being around doesn't play a part, because I say yes and no. I say no due to, I feel like my mother did everything she could to make me who I am today. I feel like she provided, she worked jobs. I've seen this lady catch the bus to get back and forth to work, catch the bus to pick me up from daycare, then get back on the bus with me. I seen her do all of that and then catch the bus home. So I seen all of that, and that's why she inspires me so much. My mother is my inspiration completely. She is my everything. I'm nothing without her. Just to be clear. Thank you, mommy, if you're watching. Love you. But from there, I feel like I didn't really miss much, because once again, like I said, when he was out for my 6th and 7th grade year, it was like he wasn't. So I think I'm fine. Due to my mom did everything, literally everything. This lady would buy clothes, and I was that kid where, you know how some kids, like, they want to buy they want 2 pair of shoes. Oh, I want this shoes, I want that shoe. I knew the situation that we were in without actually stating it when I was younger. So I was always that person. I just need 1 pair of shoes for first semester. Christmas, I get the second pair. She would always be like, no, you need more than one pair of shoes, boy. I'm like, no, I'm good with this, because I didn't want to see my mom suffer. And she didn't show that she suffered if she did, but I wasn't going to be a part of assisting with that, if you know what I mean. So, if you're wondering, mothers, parents, growing up without a father, when you think, no matter what the mom does, no matter how amazing the mom is, when you think your kid doesn't notice that the dad isn't there, we notice. It's a big thing missing. It's a big chunk missing. And it also leaves that question is it us? Did we do something wrong? Did he not want us? Is he not around? Did he not want to be in my life because of us? And then you also get to that point where you're like, or is it mom that's like keeping him away in that nature or whatever? But to be honest, we know this, and it's a question that's always stuck in our head. Is it us? That's something we always want to know. To this day, I still don't get it. Like, why aren't you around? Why you choose not to be around? Yeah, I don't get it. But it's the reality of the world, so I'm okay. But yeah, it does play a big part. And it's crazy because it's like that one parent that isn't around, or that one person that isn't around that does really nothing for you. It's like you want their validation. You want their approval so much. You don't want to do anything to hurt them. I remember when I got the phone call from my dad, and he was like, you got something you want to tell me? And I was like, no. What you mean? What do I need to tell you? You sure you ain't got nothing you want to tell me? I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. He was like, so you gay? And I immediately just started crying, like bawling, because I felt like, dang, now he really ain't gonna want nothing to do with me. But yeah, and we had the conversation. I was hurt because I didn't understand how he found out, because mind you, he was in prison at the time. So I was like, how did he find that out? Like, who told him or whatever? But I was broken. But when I told my mom about my sexuality or whatever, her response was different the first time around. To be very transparent, my mom's first response when I told her, I went to go tell her I was gay, before I can even get it out, I was like, I need to tell you something about my life or whatever, because it's my life and it's who I am and you're my mom. And so her response was, before I can even get it out, don't tell me nothing that's gonna get you sent to hell. And so I was like, dang, ouch. And so I just got up and walked out her room or whatever. But it didn't hurt me or whatever, because I know how my mom is. I know she just needed time, you know. So that didn't hurt me. But when my dad called with that, it broke me, to be honest. I was like bawling in tears. But when I was, how old? I think I was like 10 or 11, to move the story along from the daddy issues, I'm gonna move to some more daddy issues, to be honest, because I want to be 100% transparent with you guys, because that's what I want from y'all when y'all come visit. So with the daddy issues, my mom remarried when I was like 10 or 11, to my stepdad, which is somebody that I loved, care about, like a father figure. Would literally die for him. Still to this day, I can't front. I would literally still die for him. But growing up, like when I was like 12 or 13, my stepdad came home, a little drunk, tipsy, and he walked in my room and asked me why I hadn't washed the dishes. And my mom wasn't there, she was away. And he asked me why I hadn't washed the dishes, and before I could answer, he just literally just stole off on me. And was beating, he swinging on me or whatever, and it caught me off guard. And so I had like my eye was messed up right here, I had a cut on my eye, my lip was busted, my nose was bleeding, everything or whatever. So yeah. And I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I'm like, what is going on right now? Like, I went outside. Instead of calling 911, I called my mom. She came home, checked on me or whatever. So then, to speed the story along, like I want to say probably a year after that, he tried to attack me again. And mind you, this is somebody, every time, and this happened multiple times in my life, to be honest, but every time he's done it or came at me like that, I still love my stepdad. Like, and he's another person, I'm like, dang, I just want to feel like, we here or whatever, because, he's been in my life since I was like 10, 11 years old or whatever, and I look at him as that father figure, or whatever. I looked at him as that father figure. So then, but just to rewind, it's like growing up. To be honest, I feel like I grew up in a house with my mother who loves me dearly, but with a stepfather who hates me. And I didn't get it, because it was like I would always try to give, because I only know how to give me. So I would always be polite, nice, and then I started thinking, is it because I'm gay? Maybe I don't like because I'm gay or whatever. But then fast forward, I was 21, about to be 21. I was turning 21 that Friday. I came home, 2 of my friends came over to take me out or whatever. They was like, let's go shopping for your birthday outfit or whatever. So we was like, let's do that. Let's go shopping for my birthday outfit. So we left to go shopping for the birthday outfit. And when we left, rewind, I'm sorry, we didn't leave. We were getting ready to leave, and my stepdad came home drunk, and I was walking down the stairs laughing, and he was like, you laughing now, ha ha ha, and I was like, I don't get it. So then he tried to start a big commotion argument with me, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave. So in the middle of me walking out, he pulled, and I was actually getting in the car, my little sister ran outside, and she was like, Reggie, run, my dad, he getting his gun. So I jumped in my car and started to drive off. When I turned around, he was standing in the middle of the street with his gun. And I was like, he was gonna shoot me? I didn't get that. And then so later on that day, I was there packing my stuff because I decided to just remove myself from the situation. So I was just gonna find somewhere to stay or whatever. So I was packing my stuff, and he hit a nerve. The nerve was he threw my dad in my face, because my dad has been in and out of prison my whole life. So he was like, you ain't nothing, you ain't gonna be nothing, you gonna be just like your daddy. And that struck a nerve in me, and it hurted, because it's like, I love this person. Like, I love this person like a father figure. Yes, I know parents argue, or kids argue with their parents sometimes, or y'all have misunderstandings, but I'll be like, you know what, just gonna, he having a moment or whatever. But to be honest, I never said this out loud, I don't think, but that crushed me. Every time we've gotten to it, or every time he said something negative to me, crushes me. To this day, I am 31 going on 32. Anytime I'm in this man's presence and he is drinking, something negative about me comes up. It never fails. But when he's not drunk, we can have a whole conversation, laughing, talking to each other and everything. So I don't get it, but still love them. I can't help that. When I love someone, if I love you once, I love you forever. That's just my story with that. But it hurts, because it's like, I didn't have that father figure growing up. My dad wasn't really there. So then once my mom remarried, I felt like, okay, this is somebody, since I finally have a dad, I got new brothers, me and my brothers, stepbrothers, I call them my brothers. We get along great. We like this. But with my stepdad, it's like he won't accept me. And till recently, I finally just decided to just let that go. And I say this to say, parents, don't think like, just make sure you know who you have around your children, to be honest. And don't blame yourselves if something happens. It's life. God has something for all of us. God puts all of us through something for a reason. It's our story. It's for us to grow. It's everything that has happened in my life is to get me to where I'm supposed to be. God is building me up for greatness, and that is what I'm accepting. But yeah, that's just that. Still love my stepdad. I just want to be honest about that, but it hurts. I'm not gonna lie and say it don't hurt. It's reality of the world, but I've moved past that. I have to move past that, because you have to forgive to keep moving, because if you don't forgive, it will eat at you. And some people, I'm learning now, recently in the last few days, that nobody should have power over you. Nobody on this earth should have power over you. Nobody should be able to say anything to you that makes you feel like, that just takes you to a whole nother level or takes you out of yourself or whatever. So due to that, that's why I choose to stay away from certain things and people. So now, recently, I've come to terms and found out that I suffer from depression. It's something that honestly, I feel like I've been dealing with for a long time and just didn't know, because I have anxiety attacks a lot. I had them a lot, but they had stopped, and recently I had another one. And right after that anxiety attack, that next week actually, I woke up one morning and I just wish I didn't wake up. I hated life. I didn't understand my purpose. I didn't feel like I wanted to be here. I didn't understand why I was here. I was like, why did I have to wake up? I feel like life was better without me being in it. And to this day, like ever since that day, lately, it happens a lot, to be honest. It happens a lot where I wake up and I feel like, why did I have to wake up? Why are you punishing me, God? Just let me be, just let me sleep. I feel like I'll be much happier if I just sleep. Thank you. Because I have moments, as of lately, I have moments where I just feel like I don't belong. And I feel like everything that has happened to me, what has it led me to? Why? What has it led me to? What have I gotten from it? Besides feeling insecure, feeling broken, feeling not wanted, went from feeling not wanted by my dad, then went to feeling not wanted by my stepdad. Then I'm gonna be honest, I had a moment where I just felt like I wasn't wanted by my mom because I didn't feel protected when it came to a certain point. And lately when I wake up, it's like everything, I feel all of that lately. It's like, it's just, cause I'm honestly the type of person, I will hold it in as long as I can without saying something. And because I don't want to upset anyone, to be honest. I have this thing where I will put my feelings and my pride aside to not upset someone that I love and care about, or to not make them feel uncomfortable. But depression is real. To be honest, I didn't even realize how real depression was, because I have siblings that suffer from depression, and I have a best friend that suffers from depression. And I would always make comments like, you just need to pray, you just need to go to church, you tripping, that's nothing. But until you wake up with that feeling, like, I honestly don't know where it came from. I can't even explain it. It's just a feeling of uncertainty. And you literally asking yourself, like, I literally said to myself, I would rather die than feel how I feel right now. Because it drains you. It just makes you feel worthless. It makes you feel everybody in the world is against you. It feels like, make you start thinking you can't trust nobody. Make you feel like everybody's out to against you or out to get you. And I feel like I'm a very confident person. So I feel like, where did that come from? That's not even me. Depression? Like, what am I depressed about? And then the crazy part is you wake up sad and you like, what am I sad for? And I think that's the part that drove me crazy, is I'm like, what am I sad for? Why am I crying? I don't know why I'm crying. Somebody just say hey to me and I just start crying. Why am I crying? I don't know. And it sucks, but it's hard. And that's why I want to be honest and just tell you, sometimes it looks like, I see this on social media all the time, check on your strong friend. Sometimes the strongest person, the person you think is the strongest, is the most sensitive and is the one that's going through a lot. But you have to put up that barrier so that nobody can see it. Because that's been me my whole life, to be honest. I put up this barrier and I walk around looking mean, or I walk around looking like don't bother me, because I feel like that's my way of protecting myself. Because I feel like if I don't protect myself, who will? Because I've been let down so many times, and I've been by people I love, or been taken advantage of by people I love. And so I just rather not show that me. But now I feel like I have to show that me, because it can help somebody and it can save somebody. And I just feel like if I let it out, it'll help me. And so that's why I'm choosing to let it out. I don't want to be that person that hides myself from everybody, that hides who I really am, because I'm afraid of judgment, or I'm afraid of what people think. And I have this thing where I'm always in my head, and I always feel like no matter where I'm at, everybody around me is talking about me. And it eats away at me, and it causes me to want to be by myself. And want to be alone, because no matter what, when I walk into a room, especially if I go like to a party, say someone invites me to their house party or a gathering with people I don't know, I won't go, because I just feel like when I walk in, people are talking about me, especially straight people, because I feel like they have the tendency, instead of just asking or just be who you are. If a gay person isn't bothering you or talking to you, leave it at that. It's just that simple. But I always feel like when I walk into the room, it's chitter chatter, and it never fails. It always is. When you walk to the room, you see that one person whispering and looking, and you know they're asking, is he gay? Is he this? Is he that? Is he that? And immediately it puts a wall up for me, because my wall is already up, but then it puts another wall up, because it's like, why am I here? I came to have fun, but I don't want to have fun, because I feel like if I'm being myself, it's going to interrupt somebody else's good time, and I don't want to be the reason that somebody else is not having fun. But I do, to be honest, I do, in the terms, and I've shared this on social media, I do feel like there's a time and a place for everything. That's just my mentality. I honestly feel like public display of affection, for anybody, not just gay people, but for anybody, I just feel like there's a time and place for that, and especially gay people. I said it. Because I feel like as gay men or gay women, you don't want to be in front of a little kid all up on each other kissing, because you can confuse that child. And that's just my mentality. I don't want to force nothing on the child. I don't want to put that in the child's face. That's just not what I want to do. I want the child to be able to grow and be who they're going to be. I don't want, Mom, he was doing this, and then it causes the parents to have to answer questions that they may not be ready to answer. But once again, I'm just that guy that I put others, I think about everything before I do it. I think about the consequences. I think about the reactions. I think about how it's going to affect this person, affect that person. But then I've recently come to terms with, who does that for me? I'm caring about everybody in the world and making sure I don't make them feel uncomfortable. But what about me? I make myself uncomfortable to make others comfortable. And that's just something I've recently came to terms with, or whatever. But that's me, to be honest. That's just who I am. I'm a lover. I'm a fighter. I'm sensitive, but I portray to be really, really strong. But I'm very sensitive. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I care about people to the core. Like, if I'm around you and we've had conversations, I care about you. It's just my mentality. I'm a lover. But I just want to free myself from the demons that are trying to take me down. And I feel like this is my way of doing it, by talking to the others and hearing other people's stories, because they may be going through the same thing, or they may know someone who went through the same thing, and they may know how to help me in the situation. And so that's what I want to do with Talk That Talk with Reginald DeWayne. I want it to be our therapy session where we talk and just open up and just stop caring what the world thinks, because we need to know, because we can help somebody of the world, because there's too much going on in the world today. We have so many children that are being abducted, so many people are missing and being murdered, and so many suicides. So many suicides are happening when we can just use our voice. You don't know who to touch or who to help. And that's what I'm doing. And I honestly, to be honest, I feel like a lot of y'all are gonna judge me right now after this. But I'm ready for it. I'm willing for y'all to judge me if it's gonna help that one. So that is Talk That Talk with Reginald.